Aiyuk, who continues to not so subtly troll the 49ers. He posted this Commanders play he was watching on TikTok. Reminder, of course, that he played at Arizona State with Jaden Daniels, so there is a connection there. And look, here's Aiyuk's case for a new contract. After a season that he had last year that was excellent, Aiyuk averaged nearly 13 yards per target, the best mark by any player in a season since ESPN began tracking in 2006. It was nearly a full yard better than anyone else. That's significant when it comes to the game of inches. Lewis, do the Commanders make sense as a trade partner for Aiyuk?
Absolutely, Laura. Absolutely.
Ooh.
This guy was not just a product of catch and run situations. Just take the short pass and then make, although Brandon is fantastic after the catch. This guy averaged almost 18 yards per reception. He's a guy who can win on the outside, who can win on the inside. He will go over the middle, catch those balls in contested areas, and picture him in Washington with Jaden, who he's familiar with Cliff Kingsbury, in that kind of spread type of offense with a dual threat quarterback like that, and with the wide receivers that they already have there in Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson, and they have the cap space, just like New England has the cap space. You think Drake May wouldn't like to have him along with Jalen Polk and Javon Baker? They're young players that they have on the perimeter, a veteran who's still in his prime with those young players, a young quarterback who, by all accounts, is impressing everyone up there with his ability to take in the offense and start to utilize it. Man, right now, if you're one of those two teams with that kind of cap space, you for sure are sitting there going, can we pull this off? Can we get a guy like this in his prime? For sure.
Yeah, I echo everything you're saying. I would just add to that, Lewis, another team in the Pittsburgh Steelers, a team that traditionally likes to draft and develop wide receivers. But if you're going to try to become a more explosive offense and try to do more than just be 500 or better like Mike Tomlin has done every year of his career, then you need to be more explosive on the offensive side of the football. And somebody who is a premier route runner like Brandon Aiyuk fits that bill. And this is nothing against George Pickens, because Pickens is outstanding, but he is not a premier route runner like Aiyuk can be, somebody that can be where he's supposed to be, get in and out of his breaks on time, and be a friend for whoever the quarterback is there in Pittsburgh. That's another team that I would add to that.
You know what's interesting, too, about this? General Manager Adam Peters with the Commanders was largely responsible for drafting Brandon Aiyuk with the 49ers in 2020 as John Lynch's right-hand man. So I'll throw a little gasoline on that fire, Lou. I wouldn't have thought, I didn't think that this is a trade that would happen ultimately, because I just don't see the incentive for the 49ers at this point unless they really do get good capital when it comes to trade compensation. Because otherwise, I just think that you tell Brandon Aiyuk you're either playing or you're sitting, but you're not going anywhere, because he is certainly still valuable to the team, and you figure out where the chips fall after this season. But I like where your head's at. If there was one team that'd be willing to give that up, it feels like it would have been a guy who was largely responsible for drafting him in Adam Peters, who could certainly use that wide receiver.
Throw that gasoline on the fire, Jeff. I love that. Oh, go
Why
ahead,
not?
Lou. Yeah.
It's July. Let's do it.
Why not?
I was just going to say, look, GMs get very, very attached to guys who they pound the table for. And especially guys who they pound the table for and wind up being good players and productive players. And when they move on, there is no question. And those are kind of trades, those are kind of free agent signings that just make sense, because you have so much insight as to how the player really moves and how he gets on with the rest. I mean, it makes almost too much sense, especially considering what they're number one in the NFL. Are they 1 or 3 in terms of cap space right now? Heading into training camp. I'm calling Magic Johnson. I'm calling somebody and saying, help me out.
Yeah,
what can we do? What can we give up to help to make this happen?
Irv?
Right. And come on. Anyone got his number? Either way, also, if you're Brandon Aiyuk and maybe you're not feeling the love like you want to from the 49ers, that's a way to really feel the love, a place where you'd be appreciated. We'll keep an eye on it. Just getting